Have you ever had a quiet moment to yourself where a question crept in uninvited? Do people still find me attractive? Do I still register in that way as the years move forward? Most men never say it out loud, but the thought is there, carried in silence beneath the surface of daily life. And honestly, it makes sense. The world tends to put youth on a pedestal, often overlooking what comes with time. But here is what most men in this position fail to see. You may be significantly more attractive than you currently give yourself credit for. What we are going to walk through today are 10 revealing signs that point to something real. Signs that confirm you are a good-looking, compelling older man, even if that truth has not quite landed for you yet. And these are not about surface-level vanity. They live in the way you carry yourself, the energy you bring into a room, the steadiness others feel when they are near you. Chances are, several of these are already happening in your life right now. Stay with this until the end, because recognizing these signals has a way of quietly shifting how you see yourself, and in turn, how others respond to you. As you read through each one, notice which of them resonate personally. That self-awareness is where everything begins. The first sign is one that tends to catch men off guard when they finally notice it. Younger women feel at ease around you, genuinely, naturally at ease, not in a forced or polite way, but in the way people relax when they feel no pressure, no unpredictability, no need to be on guard. You see it in the conversations that unfold without effort. The woman at the coffee counter who stays a moment longer than her job requires, the colleague who seems lighter when you are nearby, the younger woman in a social setting who actually listens when you talk, not out of obligation, but out of genuine interest. None of that is coincidence. What younger women often find missing in men their own age is exactly what you have built over years: emotional calm, stability, and the kind of maturity that does not need to perform. You are not trying to impress anyone with exaggerated stories or loud energy. Your presence is measured, your listening is real, and the space you create feels safe. That combination, warmth, groundedness, and ease, is what opens the door to attraction long before anything else does. The second sign shows up in what people say to you directly. If you find that people comment on the way you dress, the way you have groomed yourself, the cologne you wear, or even just the overall impression you give, that is not small talk. That is a signal. Personal style in a man who has lived a little becomes something different. It stops being about trend chasing and starts being about identity. Maybe you have narrowed your wardrobe to what actually fits and flatters. Maybe your grooming is consistent and considered. Maybe you found a scent that works for you and you wear it with intention. Women notice all of it. A man who presents himself thoughtfully is communicating something without saying a word, that he respects himself, that he is deliberate, that he pays attention. And the natural assumption that follows is that a man who takes care of himself will take that same care into how he treats others. The third sign is one of the most understated, yet one of the most honest. Eye contact. When a woman holds your gaze a beat longer than the situation calls for, it almost never happens by accident. That extra second is a message being sent without language. It happens at the grocery store, at a social event, across a room at the gym, and it usually has very little to do with physical perfection. What it responds to is presence. The way you occupy space without needing to announce yourself, the quiet assurance in how you sit or stand or move. A lingering look is often the first form of leaning in, the moment before curiosity becomes something more. The fourth sign is about trust. People come to you for guidance, not just once, but regularly. And notably, women do this too, asking for your perspective on work situations, relationship questions, decisions they are wrestling with. When someone brings their real concerns to you, they are not simply looking for an answer. They are drawn to the feeling your steadiness provides. You have lived through enough to know that most problems are survivable. You have built and lost and rebuilt. That history is not invisible. It comes through in your tone, in your patience, in the way you respond without rushing to fix or dismiss. Women who value emotional grounding recognize this quality almost immediately, and the respect that grows from it is not a distant cousin of attraction, it is one of its deepest roots. The fifth sign lives in how you move through the world when no one is specifically watching. You no longer feel the need to fill every room with your voice or position yourself for attention, yet you tend to be noticed anyway. That is the nature of relaxed self-assurance. You have already done the internal work of proving yourself to yourself. That chapter is settled. What remains is a kind of calm that others can actually feel when they are near you. An absence of anxiety, an absence of neediness, a steadiness that communicates you are not going to be rattled by much. For women navigating the noise and unpredictability of modern life, that quality of grounded ease is not just attractive, it is rare and deeply refreshing. The sixth sign is physical, but not in the way most men assume. You do not need to be built like an athlete. What registers is energy, the vitality in how you walk, how you hold yourself upright, how you move without stiffness or apology. When people remark that you look active, strong, or remarkably well for your stage of life, they are responding to evidence of discipline and self-respect. Physical fitness in an older man signals something beyond aesthetics. It says you intend to be here, fully present and functional, for a long time. Women read these cues instinctively. A man who takes care of his body tends to take care of the things and people that matter to him as well. The seventh sign is one people underestimate entirely. Women laugh at your humor, and not just the obvious jokes, but even the slightly awkward ones, the ones that maybe should not have landed but did. When laughter comes consistently and genuinely, it is not charity, it is connection. Humor signals something important about a man's emotional intelligence, his ability to hold things lightly, to make others feel good without needing to dominate or shock. A man who can be a little self-deprecating, a little playful, without ego in the way, feels safe to be around. Joy is magnetic, and when she laughs with real warmth in her eyes, that is compatibility announcing itself quietly. The eighth sign is written in body language, hers specifically. Flirting in adulthood tends to become more refined, more subtle, easier to miss if you are not paying attention. A hand moving through her hair, a small adjustment of her clothing, her body angling slightly toward yours when she did not have to, a touch on your arm that lasts half a second longer than casual. These are not nervous habits. They are the physical vocabulary of attraction. Add in increased eye contact, a smile that carries something private in it, or the way she positions herself just a little closer than the conversation requires, and you are watching someone communicate interest in the only language she has decided to use so far. These gestures are quiet invitations. The ninth sign is one that speaks to how closely someone is actually paying attention to you. When a woman remembers something you mentioned in passing, your preferred coffee order, an old story you told once, a book you referenced briefly, she is telling you something without saying it directly. People remember what matters to them. If the details of your life are living in her memory, it means she has been listening in a way that goes beyond surface courtesy. That kind of attentiveness is one of the quieter expressions of emotional interest, and it tends to appear well before anything more obvious does. The 10th sign is perhaps the clearest of all. She finds reasons to be near you. She arrives somewhere early when she knows you will be there. She asks for help with things she could probably manage alone. She shows curiosity about your interests and creates small reasons for the two of you to overlap. That is proximity attraction, the pull toward someone who simply feels good to be around. Time is the one thing no one gives away carelessly. When someone arranges their life to include more moments with you in them, that is not coincidence or convenience. It is intention. And intention is where something real begins. So take a moment and let this settle. 10 signs, each one pointing to the same truth. Your desirability is not diminishing with time. It is taking a different shape, one that is deeper and more substantial than what you carried in your youth. Emotional intelligence, lived experience, quiet confidence, and the kind of groundedness that can only come from actually having been through things, these are not consolation prizes for getting older. They are what genuine attraction is built on for a great many people. Youth gets celebrated loudly, but the qualities that truly draw people in tend to belong to men who have grown into themselves. Think about which of these 10 you recognized in your own life. Which one surprised you? If this perspective shifted something for you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if any of this resonated personally, leave a thought. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. The awareness you build about yourself changes how you move through the world. And a man who understands his own worth carries that knowledge in every room he enters. That quiet certainty, that is the most attractive thing of all.